Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here today with little Jack. Now, I want to talk about little Jack because I've been getting some questions. And Jack's not entirely happy with me, so we're going to take a quick look. Okay, you'll notice a missing leg, and she's only got half a foot. So let's talk about why and what to do when that happens. Yeah, it's okay, honey. She doesn't love this, and in a couple minutes, Rowan's going to take her back and let her go back to her friends. So let's talk about what happened and if there's anything you can do to prevent it. Spoiler, there's not. And how to deal with a rabbit that happened to. Okay. So first of all, why does she have no leg and only half a foot? Okay. So it's only on her back legs, not her front. Now what happened is her mama, when she was born, the mamas clean them up and the mamas chew off the umbilical cord. That's what they're supposed to do. But every once in a while, and this can happen with dogs or with cats or any mammal, once in a while, when they're chewing on that umbilical cord, they aim wrong. They don't chew in the right place. Okay? And that's what happened with Jack. Her mom chewed off her leg and bit off her foot. Not with any mean intentions. It doesn't mean the mama's not a good mama. It doesn't mean that we're blocking the mic a little, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that the mama can't have more babies. It doesn't mean that mama even needs to be taken away from her babies. It was an accident, and accidents happen. So let's say you have that situation. You have a baby that's happened to. It'll always be a baby. It will never happen to a rabbit this age. Okay, she's nearly 3 months old. She is not going to have that problem at this age. It's specifically when they're newborn, when they are still wet from birthing. So what do you do? Well, as soon as you notice it, check the extent of the wounds. Obviously, hers is pretty extensive. She lost an entire leg. Check the extent of the wounds. You want to clean them up. Wrap them if it's possible. It's not always possible depending on where the wound is, but clean them up. Disinfect the wound. Use a vet recommended antibiotic ointment. Ask your vet what they recommend for rabbits. The one we use, we just get at the pharmacy. They have it. It's the same for humans, but you don't want to use one with the pain reliever because the pain reliever is toxic to rabbits. So ask your vet what they recommend and get what they recommend. Dog's barking. And you keep it clean. You keep it well tended. You keep it from getting an infection because that's the biggest worry, especially with the leg, is that there will be an infection. Okay. Then what do you do? So let's assume the baby survives. Let's assume it's extensive like hers, like missing legs. We also have one Eclipse who got her ear bitten off. That's not that big a deal. I mean, it's not genetic, so you can still breed her if that was your plan. It's not a problem for her living, right? Because it's just one ear. It's not that big a deal. She might have some trouble cooling herself in the summer, but, we provide plenty of ways for them to cool down. It's a non-issue. But she, Jack, lost a leg and a foot. Well, that's an issue. So let's assume you got everything cleaned up. Everyone looks good. Everyone feels good. Now what do? You have a disabled rabbit, okay? If it's an extensive, like her legs. So how do you care for your disabled rabbit? Okay, we're assuming now at this point you have treated the wounds and the rabbit has made it. Okay, she's fine. Okay, now you've got this rabbit with a missing leg and maybe a missing foot, or depending on the extent of the injuries, it could be a problem. So for a rabbit like Jack, the first thing you do is do not keep them on wire. Okay, that's the first thing, because she would never make it on wire. So because she's missing an entire leg and only has half of a back foot, she has to put a lot of weight on her front. Okay, so her front legs splay out a little bit. She's not in pain. It's just the way she's adapted to having no leg. So she leans forward more than most rabbits and her legs splay out a little bit. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't really, It doesn't slow her down. She's quick as heck. Okay? It doesn't slow her down. But she can't be kept on wire. So if you have those cages that are raised off the ground and you have wire bottom floors, that is not a good way to handle a disabled rabbit. They have to have solid floors. Now, she's living with the fluffle, with the colony, so she has solid floors beneath her feet all the time. She has dirt and sand and grass, and she's got wonderful, sorry, there's a mosquito, but she's got wonderful options. Okay, she's got wonderful options. So, you don't want to keep them on wire floors if they have injuries to their legs, because it will change the way they walk. Okay, it will change the way they support themselves. So her legs splay out a bit, and she puts a lot of weight on the front. Beyond that, you want to watch, if you raise colony like we do, see if she can even integrate with the colony. Now, she's doing just fine. We are going to keep an eye, because worst comes to worst, we are going to take her out of the colony and bring her in the house if they just won't be nice to her. But they're being really nice to her. Everything is fine. Okay, she's fine with them. So we don't have a problem there. Right, Jack? So make sure she has friends. Make sure those friends are treating her well. Because sometimes you'll get a group that just kind of ostracizes or even hurts the disabled rabbit. We are not having that problem, but you want to watch closely. And you want to watch for quality of life. Okay? Now, Jack is doing so well. She is strong. She is getting around. She's eating. She's drinking. She's spunky. But there is the possibility that as she gets older, we will have to make the decision to euthanize her earlier than we might otherwise want to. If she's in a lot of pain, I mean, of course, we would try pain meds first. But if that's not working or that's not feasible, then, I mean, having any disabled animal, sometimes you have to make medical decisions that are made in their best interests and not in yours. So we are going to have to keep an eye on her as she grows up. She's only a few months old. She's fine. But as she grows, she might end up with arthritis. She may end up with not being able to carry her weight on her front legs. So it's something we have to watch for. We opted not to euthanize as a baby. We opted to give her a chance. But she does require some special consideration. She requires a little more love and attention. She requires vet care that a non-disabled rabbit won't need. So if you are going to take on a disabled rabbit, or if you are faced with having one that is disabled in one of your own litters, you're going to have to make a choice. Can you look after that disabled rabbit? If not, it's no shame if you can't. Not everyone is cut out for looking after disabled animals. But okay, let's assume you can't. You can't look after the disabled rabbit. Then you have a choice to make. Can you find her a responsible, loving home? That doesn't always happen either. At that point, if you can't look after that rabbit and the rabbit is going to suffer as a result, then it is kinder to euthanize, even if maybe you don't have to. Just because if you're not going to be able to give that disabled rabbit the care she needs, then yeah, letting them go at a young age, so they don't have to go through the pain and discomfort and the untimely death that they will face if you are not able to look after them, is kinder. Okay? Now we give her all kinds of snuggles and love. Yes, sweetheart. We love this rabbit. She's a good girl, and we wouldn't give her up for anything. She's worth the extra time, the extra care, and yes, the extra expense it takes to care for a disabled rabbit. If you can't, and no shade if you can't, do the humane thing and rehome to a responsible, capable owner, or euthanize. Don't make a disabled rabbit suffer in pain because you can't make the choice that's right for them. It isn't about you, it's about them. Now we're hoping Jack will live a long, happy life here on the farm. She's in no danger of being rehomed, no danger of being processed. She's going to be our sweet little yard bunny for the rest of her life. That's the plan. But we will always do what is in her best interest. Remember that that's the goal. Anyway, that is about it for me here today at Andersen Acres. Drop a note in the comments if you've ever had to look after a disabled rabbit or any disabled animal on your farm. I'd love to hear your stories. We'll see you tomorrow.